We offer comfort, coping skills, and community to people who really want to survive this very difficult period of humanity's history. This has been a very rough year that we've been through, and I just felt called to offer a safe place where people can call home to get these things that everybody needs, because not everybody can afford therapy and not everybody has friends and family. And so that's our purpose, is to offer comfort, coping skills, and community to people who are trying to get through this pretty difficult time that we're in. So welcome. I'm happy you're here. For those of you who are not familiar with life coaching, let me just tell you what it's about. Let me stop scrolling this thing. I find it distracting. Okay, so life coaching is just people helping other people to work through any issues they're having in life, to increase their happiness, to improve their health, to strengthen their connection with their higher power. There's any of number of things that you could do with a life coach. And if you're wondering what the difference is between life coaching and therapy, to me, the difference between life coaching and therapy is just a matter of focus. So in traditional therapy, the focus is on mental illness, whereas in life coaching, the focus is on well-being. I wanted to make it a full screen. There you go. In traditional therapy, the focus is on deficits or needs. And in life coaching, the focus is on strengths and resources. In traditional therapy, the focus is on expert advice. So you hire someone who is an expert to help you. And then in life coaching, the emphasis is more on collaboration between the two people or the group of people. In traditional therapy, the focus is on the mind, largely, the mind of the individual. And then in life coaching, the focus is more on the whole person as part of a community. So the whole person, their mind, body, and spirit, and then the person within the context of the people that are around them. So the people they love, the people in their community, like the town they live in, the neighborhood they live in, the city they live in, the state they live in, the world they live in. You know, you get it. Then in traditional therapy, the focus is more on the past, and in life coaching, the focus is more on the present and the future. So there you go. Those are some differences. And I want to say, to be fair, there are a lot of non-traditional therapists out there that don't have those kind of limited focuses that traditional therapy teaches us in therapy school. And there's a lot of life coaches who probably work very differently than I do. So I just want to say these are just general guidelines for how those two things differ. But your mileage may vary. That's what I'm trying to say, is that everybody practices a little bit differently. And so when you're looking for somebody to work with as a therapist or as a life coach, I think the most important thing that you can do is to just keep an open mind and schedule at least 3 people to go visit, whether it's in person or virtually like this. Don't just limit yourself to one person that you were referred to by a friend. I mean, in my experience, and there's been a lot of research on this too, the fit between the two people is the most important thing. So if you're not feeling somebody's vibe, then they're probably not going to be able to help you. Never mind all the rest of this stuff, mindset stuff and orientation stuff. Doesn't matter. If you don't have a good fit, it probably isn't going to help, because the relationship between the two of you is going to have the biggest influence on whether your work together is successful. So I have done counseling with people since 1987. And so I think that's a pretty long history of helping people. Um, I got my BA in psychology and theater at UC Irvine, and then a master's in counseling psychology and drama therapy from CIIS. That's California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. So, so I actually do have basically the same formal education as most therapists. I just kind of went a different way because that's just my nature. I have a hard time walking a straight line. Are any of you like me? I mean, it's the oddest thing. Since I was born, I've had the hardest time walking in a straight line. Anyway, it's just a better fit for me. I have nothing against therapists. I had 3 really good ones in my life. Like I mentioned in that video with Tamara, the one called What is Complex Trauma? If you watched that one, great. If you didn't, please do. Like I mentioned in that video, I had really good experiences with the 3 therapists I had. I had one in high school who I was assigned to after I got suspended for running away. And then I had a second one during my first marriage, because that marriage was a problem. And then I got my third one, when did we start? I was 24. In all 3 cases, what really helped me, what really healed me the most in those settings was the relationship that I had with him. And I'm very grateful that I had those positive experiences. So most of my life, I have worked in different nonprofits, working with people who are unhoused, who have significant mental health and substance use issues. That's been the place where I've felt most called when I have worked for other people. And I love the work. I really do. I just felt like it was time for me to retire from that work and start doing this. In addition to doing all of that, I raised many children, and now that they're all adults, I can say, you know what? I'm a pretty darn good mom. And to me, being a mom is like the ultimate life coach gig, right? Because you have this little human that you start working with when they're entirely dependent on you. And then you have to get them to a place where they don't need you anymore. So I think having raised many children to adulthood successfully, and they're all doing really well, by the way, qualifies me in a way to be a life coach too. Even though I've had all of these things that I've done in my life that I'm proud of, to me, the career I've always felt most called to has been being a mother and now a grandmother. I think it's the most important work that I've done. Let me scroll another one of these cool tickers that I learned how to make today. That's to our Patreon page. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up to be a member.